Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Magnus, I'd like to start off with a yes or no question. Do you believe we have a crisis at the southern border, yes or no?
Senator, I'm not sure, does it really matter whether we call it a major challenge, a crisis, a big problem? I think
it speaks to a level of urgency and seriousness of purpose and an understanding of the gravity of the situation. I mean, presumably one would answer the call to serve in this position because you understand the importance at this moment in history of being Commissioner of CBP. So do we have a crisis at the border, yes or no?
Senator, let me assure you that no one believes there is greater urgency to this matter than I do. I have been at the southern border.
So it's urgent. I've heard the characterization urgent strikes the common ear as less than a crisis. Are you saying there's not a crisis at the border?
Senator, I don't think I don't speak to urgent as less serious at all. In fact,
is there a crisis or is there not a crisis at the border?
Senator, I would say that my highest priority is going to...
I didn't ask your priority. I asked to characterize the situation at the border. Is there a crisis at the border? You've been nominated to serve as Commissioner to the Customs and Border Patrol Agency at a time that I regard as a crisis. Are you saying there is not a crisis?
Senator, what I'm certainly trying to convey is how serious I take what's happening at the border and the amount of work that I want to put into addressing it.
Noted, noted. DHS tells us that we've already seen over 1.3 million illegal border crossings so far this year. That's about 1.5 times the population of Indianapolis, Indiana. I'd say that's a crisis. What number of illegal crossings would you consider to be a crisis? What if we were to quintuple that number? Would you then call it a crisis?
Senator, I appreciate your question, and I'm already doing my best to acknowledge that the situation is very serious. It would be, regardless of what we call it, it is something important to me.
So, despite the 1.3 million illegal border crossings this year, 100,000 unaccompanied minors, a massive uptick in human trafficking and drug trafficking that's taking a toll in my state and all across the country. Earlier this month, Department of Homeland Security announced that it will terminate the remaining contracts for the southern border wall in the Rio Grande Valley. Now, look, I'm looking for a series of yes or no answers from you, sir. Do you believe that canceling such contracts at this time is a prudent choice given the dire situation on our southern border, yes or no?
Senator, I'm not working for CBP right now, so I don't even know exactly which contracts we're referring to. In
preparing for this hearing, you didn't familiarize yourself with that, sir?
I'm sorry, Senator, but I can't tell you I'm familiar with each contract that the Border Patrol has for infrastructure. What I will tell you, sir, is that I think there is a place for infrastructure, and I think that includes in certain sections completion of barriers, wall, other things. So this is an area that I want to learn more about. It's going to.
Do you think there is a role? Would you commit to reinstating the contracts once you become commissioner? Should you be confirmed?
Senator, I can't commit to reinstating a contract, a specific contract that I'm not familiar with.
Because you haven't familiarized yourself with that. Have you familiarized yourself with Title 8? U.S. Code Section 1325, sir.
I'm sorry, Senator, I'm not familiar.
This is the operative federal law that makes it a crime for an individual to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any point other than a border inspection point or other official point of entry. So this is what would basically dictate the laws that you're enforcing and your actions as commissioner. So are you familiar with that law, sir?
Sir, my primary responsibility as a police chief has been to be as familiar as possible with all of the laws that we're responsible for enforcing. So I can assure you that if I'm confirmed for this position, I will do the same. I'll become as familiar with
All right,
those
sir.
laws.
You're the nominee to be the commissioner of CBP, and you have not familiarized yourself with the operative immigration law. I see that as being a concern. Thank you.